Hey, Ken Donaldson here, and back for another exciting episode. And here's
Hi, Ken.
Holly Donaldson, my wonderful wife. And as we were talking earlier about this particular podcast, one of the things that came up for us was our first date. And we wanted to share with you all a little bit about our first date because it was very revealing for both of us. Why don't you share a little bit about it?
Yeah, well, the thing that was amazing to me was how openly we were able to communicate about a few things that we both felt vulnerable about. And since this is a podcast about couples and money, one of those things was money. And Ken, I'll let you talk about that part.
So my history with money is a very quote unquote interesting one. I haven't always made the best financial decisions. I have tended to be much more of a spender than a saver. And unfortunately, in my attempts to save, I made a number of really, really poor investments. And what happened is that I was ashamed of those investments. I really was. I was ashamed that I had lost some money. And so I just stopped talking about those things. And I was able to convey to Holly that, I was feeling very intimidated and that I was feeling really, I think the term I used, I was feeling like a financial idiot. I hope I don't offend anybody by saying that. And then Holly responded with,
well, I'm a relationship idiot. And that's how I felt after, number one, reading Ken's book. And he's such a relationship expert. He wrote a whole book called Marry Yourself First, which is a really great book about learning about yourself. And it was my first date after my divorce. And I felt like a teenager who did not know, had never been on a date before. And I didn't know what was normal. I didn't know what to do, what to say. And when Ken basically opened the door by saying, well, I'm a financial idiot, I just felt like, oh, good. He's got something that he's humble about, and I have something that I'm humble about. And what we're each humble about is the other's expertise. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and so Holly also is an author, and she wrote this wonderful book, The Mindful Money Mentality, and we both had each other's book, and Holly had finished my book. She was a really good student. I had not finished her book. I only made it about halfway through because I was having difficulty understanding it, and it's not because the book is wonderfully written. It's very simply written. I just didn't have the financial wherewithal. And so I realized that, well, I'm going to have to stay with her, so I maybe could ask her a few questions face to face, get some perks out of the date. Maybe.
Were possibly some emotions getting in the way of you?
Well, for both of us, for both of us, and that's part of the point of what we wanted to bring up today was about vulnerability. We were both feeling extremely vulnerable and sharing these areas of our life that we felt somewhat inadequate with. And that, having the willingness to break through those vulnerabilities and go ahead and say it and share it anyways, even though we felt vulnerable. And that has been, here we are 4+ years later, that's been a big part of the glue that's held us together and relationship together, and something that we've really committed to and worked on very hard is having that level of openness in our relationships.
Exactly. So understanding that feeling vulnerable isn't easy, understanding that conversations about the relationship, conversations about money are going to have emotions attached to them, and feeling okay about sharing whatever emotion it is that comes up and whatever question it is that comes up is something that we still continue to work on. And I've seen a lot of couples in my practice, and I think Ken has seen in his too, who are working on similar, not the same exact issues, but similar issues revolving around financial decision-making and relationship communications.
And so that's, a big part of our focus in these podcasts is really going to be around developing a better sense of emotional expression, emotional regulation, emotional management, and all under the umbrella of emotional intelligence. How can we all have a more emotionally intelligent and fulfilling life? And so one of the questions that comes up every once in a while is, what comes first? Is it the relationship problems, or is it the money problems, or relationship issues, or money issues? And this is something we're going to be addressing going forward, but we wanted to start this off today, just sharing a little bit about ourselves and reminding you all of why we're here, why we're doing this, is that we have discovered that by being open, our relationship status and our financial status have really been wonderful compared to how they were. And so the bottom line was we stay open with each other.
Exactly. So whether it's a question of, can we buy organic at the grocery store, or buy that second home for retirement, or gee, are we taking too much risk in the 401k? Or if it's more relationship-based issues that have some kind of emotion underneath them, we're going to find out next week. We're going to drill down into what's the underlying emotion and which is driving, where's it coming out first, relationship problems or money problems. So stay tuned.
Yeah, we welcome you to stay tuned. And I'm going to continue to talk here for about 3 more seconds while Holly goes over and turns off the camera, because she's not only my wonderful sidekick and partner here, she's also the camera operator for these podcasts. So see you later. Take care.